as successful thinkers. So I need you to get up. I need you to walk all the way to the back or to the bathrooms, whatever you want. I can keep talking if you want me to delay.
Wow, Gary's going way back there.
So at this time, it is time for the feature presentation. As we watch movies, it's all feature presentation, right? So I met Gary eight months ago, and every time I talk to him, it just gets better and better and better. I asked him last week if he would like to talk to today because he has some good information. His title today is Finding the Gap. Finding the need in a one-on-one. It's going to be awesome. One question, how many block pens and papers with you today? Because you're going to want to take some notes. When this guy speaks, he's dynamic, he's powerful. I usually go through like 8 pages of notes when he talks. So it's awesome. So our feature presentation today is Gary Massari.
First, how you guys doing?
Great.
Let me ask you a question. How many of you guys would like more money in your life?
Yes.
I didn't say need, I said like. I choose my word purposely. How many of you guys would like more time in your life? That'd be cool. More money, more time, how about more fun? How about more vacations without your cell phone? That'd be good? Hey, before I really start, and I want to say, I want to thank Elias, and I want to thank Eric, and Ron, and Avi, and Island for a phenomenal job of getting this done. They spent hours and hours and hours taking photos, taking videos. I don't know about you guys, but I think I got famous because of them. Right? And you know what? They're there to help us move our businesses forward in the background. And I got to tell you, it's like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I know he takes 2, 3 pots of coffee because I get his emails and texts. So thank you, Elias. We love you. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Ron. And thank you, Ivy and Island, for taking over this great location. I think it'll be phenomenal leaders. You already are. And we're all going to be blessed by it. Okay? Yeah. All right. Well, last night I got a crazy phone call. See, this guy on Facebook says, hey, I want to connect with you. I said, that's wonderful. And I said, call me anytime. So last night about 10:30, I get a phone call from him. And guess what the phone call was? The phone call was, listen, I'm a social media guy, and get your group together. I want to speak to him. I go, who are you? He goes, well, my name's, I'm not going to say his name. He goes, who are you? Guess what I said? I said, you know, I like to do business with people I know, like, and trust. I don't think you're one of them. I'm sorry. How would you guys like to get a phone call like that? Would you like to do business with somebody like that? Let me tell you another experience I had. See, when I first got introduced to Successful Thinkers, it was amazing because we were taught to ask this question. Tell me about yourself. Tell me everything about you. And what do you do for fun? What do you do for recreation? What are you passionate about? Right? What are your dreams? I thought, oh great, I could tell everybody I like to race yachts and write books. I couldn't wait to tell everybody about, you know, what I do for fun. But you know, I bet on the first 5 or 6 one-on-ones, nobody asked me that question. In fact, one of the first experiences I had was so enlightening. I sat down with this guy, and he brought out a 2-inch book on his product and company. I'm looking at him going, and I'm asking him, so well, tell me about yourself. What a mistake that was. This went on for about 45 minutes. All about him and his company. He says, you got to try this product. And I go, really? So he gave me this product, and it was in a little, I don't know, capsule or something like that. And he says, oh man, this is tasting so good, you got to try it. So guess what? I tore it open, and he says, oh yeah, tear it open, try it right now. And he says, well, do I take it straight down, or do I get it, put it in a glass? He said, no, just take it. So I took that product, and it went down so fast and so hard, I'm telling you, it felt like lightning hitting my throat. I mean, it burned so bad, I couldn't stop going. Oh. He goes, how does it taste? I said, how does it taste? I go, give me some water. Great, right? How would you guys like to have a one-on-one like that? let me back up and say something. I have had a lot of good one-on-ones too. But see, I call it barfing. When you sit down with somebody and you don't take enough time to talk to them about who they are and what their needs are in life, how could you possibly present value to that person unless you understand what that needs? How could you be a solution unless you know the need? Is that making sense to you? See, I was fortunate enough when I was 17 years old to be in the Navy. And I liked this guy. He was a friend of mine. I looked up to him. He played the guitar. We sang in the back of the barracks. And one day he turned to me and he says, Gary, you know something? He said, you can find something beautiful in every person you meet. And it changed my life at 17 years of age. Because from that day forward, I started looking at people differently. I started to realize that everyone was unique. And every person was different. And I looked for what was beautiful in that person. And I started seeing things in people that other people weren't seeing. Now, I didn't see their faults. I didn't see the mistakes. I know a lot of guys focus on those faults and focus on the mistakes, but I always saw the potential in that person. I always saw the talent in that person. And it's funny how God comes into your life and has a plan for your life and prepares you for these experiences you have no idea. 17 years of age, I learned to find something beautiful and look for every person I meet. Now, that was a life-changing experience, and you think, well, Gary, my life must have been really wonderful from then on there, from then on out. I gotta tell you, my life has more bumps and curves than I'll match it curve for curve, bump for bump, I promise you. But the crazy thing was, I trusted everybody I met until they proved me wrong. In a lot of cases, I got what I call crapped on, okay? And sometimes it didn't always work. And you know my background, I had built some pretty good-sized companies. And I'd hired some pretty phenomenal leaders that I thought I could trust that would carry out that fulfillment and mission and vision of my company, but they had other ideas. But nonetheless, I helped those people to get to where they want to go because I saw the beauty in them. Now on the other side of that, sometimes it didn't work, but let me tell you what did work. When I started sitting down and talking with people and learning about them and who they were and the talents that they had, the gifts that they had, and just talking to them enough and asking them enough questions to learn about them, I really got to understand the needs in their life, and from there I was able to benefit them instead of just trying to hire somebody off a resume or a bio and place them into a situation that maybe they weren't apt to do. Maybe they didn't have the talent to do. See? So I started learning a few things by talking to more people on a deeper level. You're following what I'm saying? It's important that we learn to ask questions. So here's my favorite questions when I sit down with someone. And I'm going to go a little deeper with it. See, I learned to talk to people in terms of their interests. What gets them excited? What motivates them? What they want to do with their lives? And I would go deeper with that. So if somebody said to me, you know, Gary, I really want to compete in swimming. In fact, I love it so much. I'm a competitive swimmer. Even at my age, I want to be in the Olympics. I'm looking at somebody that passed their prime. I'm thinking, well, wow, but that's what she does. I had no idea that this particular person swam some great distances across some great shores and set some records already. See, I started judging them before really getting to know them. And sometimes we get caught in that same trap. Do you agree?
Yes.
So, do you think it's important when you talk to somebody and ask them questions like, let me ask you this question, is what you're doing now really going to get you to where you want to go? And you start asking questions that maybe could have them open up to you. If you're in finances, or maybe you're doing maybe an MLM or something, or you're in sales, or finances meaning maybe an insurance person or a financial planner, maybe you can ask them a question like, are you making all the money you want to make? Do you have enough in assets or finances to carry out through your elder days, through retirement? But when you start asking those type of questions, you know what, you can get a little deeper with them and they're not offended, are they? But if you start bombing them about what you have to offer them, I call it barfing, and selling them, guess what they do? They put up the shields of resistance, don't they? They don't want to hear your offer. Yet they could be home praying that somebody would come along and say, you know, I really need help with maybe long-term care because of my parents. You don't know that. But if you're barfing on them and you're pushing on them, they're going to put up the shields of resistance. Have you ever walked in to an open house on a Sunday afternoon and the realtor comes running up with a flyer going, we have 2,500 square feet, there's 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and it's about a half acre, and you know, the house is a short sale, and the people are getting a divorce, and okay, all right, what do you feel? How do you feel about that? Nobody wants to be sold. Everybody wants to buy, but nobody wants to be sold. Am I right? We're big spenders in America, by the way. But everybody does not want to be sold. They put up what I call the shields of resistance. They back away from it. They get really backing away from it. Is it making sense? So when you put up the shields of resistance, people don't come closer to you. They back away from you. That's the problem that you have. And yet you might have the very thing they're looking for. But you didn't make enough time by asking the right questions to find out what the needs are in their life. It's called the gap. Here's where you are in your life today. Here's where you want to be. The gap is that difference. We call it the bridge. How do we get people over that bridge? By pulling out a 2-inch book and having them choke to death on a product you don't like? No! You get them over that bridge by asking more questions. I call it digging. Here's a great question. What do you do for fun? Well, I used to competitively play golf. I like to play golf. I said, really? How often do you play golf? This is a real story. And I said, well, I don't play golf anymore because I'm worried about my job. They cut back at the company. And I said, really? Now, if I have the answer to him, if I have a solution for him, I said, would you like to play golf more? You should have seen that person's eyes light up. The guy literally hugged me. He said, I would do anything to play more golf. He said, I play once a month. I used to play 3 times a week. I said, really? So what if I could show you a way that you can play golf 3 times a week again? Would that be important to you? And the guy goes, well, yes. I said, are you open? Now with permission, are you open to looking at some possible ways of creating additional income? I understand your income challenge right now. If we can solve those problems for you, if we can be the answer for it, if we can be the key, if we can open a door of possibilities, would that be something you'd be interested in looking into? Folks, let me tell you something. Socrates' principle of persuasion says this. Socrates' principle of persuasion says this. You introduce small steps in order for people to evaluate, understand. And when you sit down with somebody, when you're presenting an opportunity, just simply say to them, you know, you're going to have to take these steps to really get clarification, to really get meaning and understanding to, before you can make a final decision. I want you to make the best decision of your life that's going to fit with you and your means. But folks, if you don't spend enough time sitting down with somebody in that type of conversation, understanding about what are you passionate about? I like to write books. Really? What type of books do you like, are in your heart to write? It's amazing when you ask people those questions, the understanding and meaning you get from that relationship. It's going back to my 17-year-old. I'm kind of good and young as a kid. All the girls want to take me up. I think they're laughing at that. You're going back to that time where you find something beautiful in everybody. Find something beautiful and everybody's going to talk to. Look for that beautiful thing. Look for that talent. Look for that gift. And then you're going to find the need by digging into the conversation and asking open-ended questions. Is that making sense? Look at the things that you know people like to talk. See, the problem is you got good at talking so much, your mind is setting for the next question or the next question or statement that you're going to make. And to do this properly, you got to clear your mind. When I sit down with somebody to do a one-on-one, I clear it all out. I find enjoyment talking in terms of their interests, making them feel important, complimenting and praising them. That compliment and praise is very simple in the book of How to Win Friends and Influence People. It simply says, I read this when I was a young man, it says use lavish praise. Went along with finding something beautiful. So when I found that talent or that gift, I would tell people, they got this gift and they got this talent. What are they doing? What are you doing to improve your life, to have a better quality of life? What are you doing with it? And I just listened to them. Because most people felt they are working under what they're worth. How many guys are getting paid what they're worth right now? Raise your hand. Anybody being seen? Look around. Not one person raised their hand. So how can we get people in the gap to understand where they're at and be willing to change and get them to where they want to go? If there's a need there and there's a match, you make the offering, that's not violating the relationship, is it? It's simply saying that you're offering a solution. It may or may not fit, but the relationship stays intact. So you got to learn to empty your mind. You got to learn to look for that beautiful thing in that person. You got to learn to recognize your gifts and talents. The needs will come out automatically. I promise you they will. How's it going at work? How are you surviving in the economy? Is everything okay? Are you okay? Do you have your retirement in hand? Are you taking all the vacations you want to take? Those are good questions. And then you know what? It comes out. You know, I haven't been on a vacation in 6 years. Really? Why not? You ask another question, you get deeper. Why not? Listen, my wife lost the job. You know, when I'm worried about losing my job at work, and man, we've been trying to save and spend so hard. The cost of living's going up, gas prices are going up, groceries going up, and I'm telling you, it's hard to do it on one income now. That's what you're hearing today, yes or yes? Yes. Okay? I said, if we could change that, if we could bring fulfillment to your life, if you could have a better life because of that, I might have something that would work for you. I don't know if it's for you or not. Write this down. I don't know if it's for you or not. That takes away the cells right there. I don't know if this is for you or not. It may fit together. It may be something you're looking for. But would you be willing to take the steps of evaluation to see if it makes as much sense for you as it did for me? Now, I'm going to tell you I'm going to give you a little cells now. What's going to perpetuate that person to take the next steps for you is the compliment that you gave. Ken Blanchard's book, 1 Minute Magic, says this. He says, find something that somebody does that's great and acknowledge them. There's a difference between a compliment and an acknowledgement. Compliment is external. Okay? If I look around, Island has some beautiful earrings on. I'm going to compliment her. Watch the smile. They're beautiful. Where'd you get those earrings, by the way? You know you like them. They're pretty, don't you? Are they pretty or what? Okay. Now, look at the smile you put on her face. But you know what's even greater than an external compliment? Is acknowledging that she has a warm and caring and passionate heart. She cares about people. She acknowledges people. She edifies people. She builds people up. That's a gift. She has a pure gift of doing it. She's an example to all of us as successful thinkers about what we should do to build better relationships. See?
You know how much I paid you? Tell us.
Now, that person they're talking to may not be important. I mean, that person's always important, but that person that they're talking to may not be ideal for what their business is and they're offering. But that doesn't mean they shut them off and say, hey, no, I don't want anything to do with you. You know, that's what we were taught in the old days in sales schools. It simply says, you know what, this is not for you. Maybe I can connect you with somebody that can help you. I can't. So if they say no to you, you're not going to feel bad about it. You're out in front of rejection. Let me turn you on to somebody. Maybe there's something over here that may make sense to you that's a lot easier. It's in line with who you are and the way you process. Do you see what I'm talking about? Because we have all these connections and all these resources here. So putting people in the right connection with the right people at the right time, it's always going to come back to you. You're going to work over here, you're going to bank over there. Can you say amen? Amen. You're soft on me right now, a little quiet. Okay? So you want to profile the people that you want to do business with. And I ask this question. Profile the client. If it's a business and they want to get more clients and they want to be a client attraction, profile that client for me. Tell me what client that you would like to see come into your life that would better serve your business and serve you. That you can really help and bring big value to. Profile that client. Tell me about that client. It's one thing to connect them in a group so they know the resources of the group. It's another thing to say, hey, I want to help you move your business forward. All I'm doing is getting a little deeper of understanding about what's the perfect client for them. Now guess what? When I find that perfect client, I'm going to say, Frank, or Elias, or whatever. I found somebody that can use your services, and I'm going to edify them. I'm going to pump them up. You got to meet Elias. He's one of the most energetic, trusting guys you're ever going to meet. He's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait for you to talk with him. He's got the answer for you. Will you mind talking to him? Well, where's Elias's card? Where's his telephone number? When can I talk to him? See the difference? Because it came from an endorsement. I didn't sell him anything. I just talked to him enough to understand who they are, what's beautiful about them, what their talents are, what their gifts are, what their needs are, and able to point it to somebody that could have the fulfillment they need in their life. Is that like way cool? How many guys are going to change our approach from now on? How many guys are going to sit down and really talk to people and ask them deep-rooted questions about their lives, what they're going through, what their interests are? How many guys are going to learn to compliment and acknowledge those people for their accomplishments so far? Okay? You don't have to be a priest. You don't have to pray with them. Some of the conversations require sometimes that. I have people break down and cry on me all the time. I don't know why. Okay, sometimes I got to hug them and hold them a little bit. Right? Things would be okay. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's shocking. You see, when you profile what you want in your business as a person, and you help other people by asking them and profiling it for them, things are going to change in your life. I'm going to tell you why. You see, when I sit down to interview somebody in my business, because I'm building a business of leaders. My whole thing is about leadership development. I build large organizations, I put leaders on top of it immediately and they make money. Here's the deal. They have to qualify to me. I don't go out there and chase people and drag them into my Visalis business. I develop leadership. I have a whole program for leadership. My people in my business are professional coaches. When I profile that, I wanted a business of leadership because these businesses go up, they come down. People get into business because of you, not the product or the company. I love this one. My product's better. Oh no, my product's better. Oh, mine's a service. Oh, mine's a product. I hear it all the time. Bull! They get into business because they trust and like you, and it's your leadership. It's your leadership that you're going to mentor and grow that business. It's going to make a difference in their life. Does that make sense? Yes. They get into business because of you and how you can help them. That's more important than any product or company. I promise you it is. They're all good. I love the industry. I'm an advocate of the industry. I think the dynamics and the principles that govern the direct sales industry are far succeed and help people more than conventional businesses. I like conventional businesses too. I'm also a professional coach in the real estate. But here's what I want to tell you. When you sit down with somebody and you really look in the eye and you understand their needs, their passions, and their dreams, and you can get them help from where they are, fill that gap in, get them over the bridge, over here, and get small successes in their life, and change their lives, and they're making money. It isn't about the product. It's about what you did to help them to get to where you want to go. You created a community. Do you get the picture? You created a long-term relationship. Do you understand what I'm talking about? People aren't going to quit. You're not going to have a revolving door business. You're going to have a high rate of retention. Because why? You're developing people. Instead of saying, I'm going to find 3 to 5 years, stick it out, you're going to find the right people come along, they're going to take you to the top. BS. You go find those people and you help them get to the top. That's the difference. You help people get to where they want to go. Instead of trying to suck them in and use them to be part of your downline. So let's stop coughing on people and barking on people and trying to sign people up. Let's sit down with people, understand where they're at, where they want to go, the gap in their life, and let's see if we can't be the solution to help them to have a better life, to live a better quality of life. Then they can in turn help other people do the same. I'm going to end with this, man. A lot of you guys can build some powerhouse businesses. But man, if I was you guys, I would invest in learning how to create meaningful, long-lasting relationships. I would learn how to connect people. I would learn how to look in their heart and find the beauty in them, find their gifts and talents, and get them to where they want to go, not where you want them to go. You see the difference? Otherwise, you'll destroy this beautiful concept and platform of what can we do to help you to get your business forward, move your business forward. You'll destroy it. Because you're going to bring people here, and they're all holding a melon to it, jump all over them, and guess what? You're going to violate the relationship right there. See, Avi referred me somebody, it wasn't right for him. When I run into somebody, I'm going to refer him to Avi. Hello? See the difference? Why? Because we want to help people. We don't want to use people. I'm sorry I'm preaching at you a little bit because I love you guys so much, but I don't want to see these relationships violated anymore. When people come in here, you sit them down and say, hey, this is a loving, caring, compassionate group that want to help people move their businesses forward. We're here to help you with all your needs. We want to get to know you. We want to know what you do for fun. We want to know if you like to golf, snow ski, or water ski. We just like to know if you want to paint or sculpture, write books or poems. We just want to know who you are. And we want to be there for you. We want to make a difference for you. We want to make a difference for your life. You know how big your business would be? It would be uncontrollable. So I interview people when I sit down with them. I don't call 25 people a day. I interview them. I want to know if they're right for my business. I want to know if they have the qualities of leadership I'm looking for. I want to know if they have the heart and passion to change people's lives. I want to know that before I even consider them. And then, and only then, do I invite them into my business. See, I did it the other way. I sponsored 28 people in 28 days. I sponsored 120 people in a short period of time and blew a big 3,000 downline out in just minutes. That didn't work. What worked is when I slowed down to qualify the right people who had meaning and caring and love and passion for other people, who really did, and had the right values and the right integrity. That's when my business exploded. That's when all of a sudden I'm in 10 major cities. I'm not selling it myself by any means. That's why we opened up WCI Leadership Development, so we can have anybody at any MLM come in there. Any person that wants to grow and help their business can have access to our coaches with no obligation of anything. What a beautiful thing to do, because we want to help. We want to play it forward. Are you with me? So what are we going to do when somebody comes into Successful Thinkers? We're going to make a beeline to them, ask them to one-on-one and say, we want to know all about you. Tell us about what you do for fun. Tell us what you're passionate about. Tell us about your dreams. And don't be so quick to say, what do you do for life? What's your business? Don't be so quick. And then you ask deeper questions. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. And you relate back, that's interesting. Wow, that's amazing. Wow, you're an amazing person. It's a gift to listen. It's a gift to listen. Talking does not do it. You got to listen and listen and listen. And you'll be amazed of the relationships and the friendships you will have if you just stop long enough to listen to the heartbeat of that person. Be heart-centered. Be heart-centered. And God bless you guys.